Makes sense. And like with that in mind, like what's your approach to performance management? Again, if we leave, say, the financial side, out of it, like how should leaders approach performance management to address, some of the issues that we spoke about, while maintaining the values and the motivations? Or like, even if you want to take it from a personal point of view, like what motivated you in your career as you were working your way up through the system?
I think, first of all, performance management should be a summary. There shouldn't be any surprises. Jeremy and Shay should have conversations all the time, such that when the performance review is undertaken, it's no surprise to either of us, because we've had the courage and the integrity to speak to each other on an ongoing basis. I think the worst examples of performance management that I see are when people walk in a room and they're totally surprised by the feedback. I mean that just shouldn't happen, all right? So that would be the first thing. The second thing would be if the EBSCO can really drive home that it's not the process that matters, it's the conversation. And so therefore don't create an environment where leaders are so put off by the amount of forms they have to fill in, by the amount of bureaucracy that happens, right? Try and keep the summary conversation to as short a process as you possibly can, because it's the quality of the conversation that really matters. And then thirdly, it just takes real courage to be honest, and don't hide the messages. Be honest. I always ask myself 3 questions. Doesn't matter what form set I'm supposed to fill in. I think about somebody in terms of what's working, what's not working, and what needs to change. And they're the 3 questions that I always ask myself in terms of any review I'm doing. But most of all, I want the integrity of no surprises. One of the other books that I mentioned in Leading Without Winging It is a wonderful book called Radical Candor by an American author called Kim Scott. And Kim talks about the idea of directly but caring personally. I love that as a concept. So how do I think about performance management? I don't think organizations move forward without it. I think what really matters is the quality of the conversation. I think that conversation has to happen all the time. And in my experience, leaders' instinct will tell them whether they are talking to their people enough. There shouldn't be any surprises in the conversation. And ultimately, probably think about 2 things. What's working, what's not working.